Apple iPhone 13, everything you need to know. We're pretty confident when we say that the iPhone 13 is the best iPhone for most people. It may look like Apple has only changed the position of one of the phone's back cameras since last year's model, but trust us when we say that there are more substantial upgrades than that. With a new display, larger battery, and better camera hardware and software, the iPhone 13 is the new benchmark for flagship phones. Design and colors. There's really two design changes of note for the iPhone 13. First, the cameras on the rear are now arranged diagonally instead of vertically. The notch is now 20% smaller while still delivering the same great true depth camera system and Face ID you'd expect since the iPhone X ushered in this feature 4 years ago. Honestly, the smaller notch doesn't make much of a difference in day-to-day use of the iPhone 13. When watching videos in landscape mode side by side at full screen, I didn't find either notch that distracting. I did appreciate the mini notch more when using apps with a white background and portrait orientation, such as Gmail. However, the notch on the iPhone 13 swoops down a bit more despite being narrower. Display. Alas, the iPhone 13 doesn't boast the adaptive 120 Hz refresh rate of the iPhone 13 Pro, but it's still a stellar OLED panel. This Super Retina XDR display is now 28% brighter than the iPhone 12. It's also rated at 800 nits compared to 600 nits for last year's phone. In my testing, I wouldn't say the brightness difference is dramatic, but it can help when you're trying to view the iPhone 13's display in direct sunlight. The overall display quality continues to be stellar. When watching the trailer for The Matrix Resurrections, I was mesmerized by the neon code encircling Neo as he walked down the street, and in another scene I could make out individual hairs on Neo's beard as he stared up into the sun. Cameras. There's much more to the iPhone 13 cameras than just a new diagonal arrangement of the lenses. The wide camera now gathers 47% more light than the iPhone 12, thanks to a larger camera with 1.7 pixels. Another plus is that the ultra-wide camera can now capture 4 times more scene, and its newer sensor delivers better low-light performance along with less noise. If you're not a fan of the iPhone's usual color temperature, or you just wanted more control over your photos, you'll appreciate the Photographic Styles feature. In the Camera app, you can switch from multiple styles, including standard, vibrant, rich contrast, warm, and cool. Performance. The A15 Bionic doesn't offer dramatic performance gains over the A13 Bionic powering the iPhone 12, but it didn't need to just to remain the fastest chip in any phone. As with the A13 Bionic, the A15 offers a 6-core CPU and 4-core GPU, but there's now a 16-core neural engine for machine learning and AI, up from 8 cores on the previous chipset. Apple says that the iPhone 13's CPU is up to 50% faster than the competition, while the GPU can handle graphics, rendering 20% faster. Before we get into the benchmarks, I think it's important to talk about how swift this phone feels in everyday use. Battery life and charging. Apple says that the iPhone 13 lasts up to 1.5 hours longer than the iPhone 12, thanks to a bigger battery, more efficient display, and the A15 Bionic chip. But our testing showed even better results. On the Tom's Guide battery test, which involves continuous web surfing over 5G at 150 nits of screen brightness over cellular, at NT's network in this case, the iPhone 13 endured for 10 hours and 33 minutes. That's more than 2 hours longer than the 8.25 time that the iPhone 12 turned in. The best result we saw from the Galaxy S21 was 9.53.